What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to do a review of my recent acquisition, which is the AR613 pressure washer, which I recently acquired. Do a standard test to show you what exactly this thing how this thing performs, which is I think that this blows the competition out of the water in terms of performance and the value that it gives you. So all right, so let me give you some background before I start to go in details about this machine. So over the last several years I had a few pressure washer, last one being the Karcher K5, which was okay, but I was never really all that happy with it. So time came around and I wanted to upgrade, and I was looking extensively online, looking through all the other YouTube videos out there of reviews of all the different kinds of pressure washers, and which was very helpful, but I never saw anybody review this one, and this basically blows any of those reviews or pressure washers I came across out of the water, literally. Especially for the at the price point that this can be purchased. So I figured I wanted to share that with you guys. I was looking at Kranzlas, which are like the top end, and some lower AR models, and none of them really quite fit the picture that I was, so to speak, looking for. So let me get into the details and explain exactly some features of this machine and how it performs, which I'm gonna do a standardized test, what it appears to be these days. So I'm gonna be using a scale, a bucket, and obviously some water to see what kind of numbers this machine puts out, and you're gonna be surprised when you see when we're done. All right, so stick around, and I'll show you what exactly this machine is capable of. So here it is. This is the AR613. I believe this is a fairly new model, at least in the US. I think in Europe it's been more available than in the US for that matter. But what I like about from the external packaging of this unit is nice and compact. It's fairly small. It has a nice overall design. I was mainly comparing this to a AR630, which is has similar performance, but the packaging is kind of odd. It's much bigger, and it's not even as pleasant as to look at. This has a nice sleek line to it, and it has that cool factor in a way, if you ask me. So yeah, so from an external view, it has this nice handle, and it's the overall machine weighs about 49 pounds, which is a nice, heavy, and stable piece. It won't tip over. It has a low profile, so it won't tip like this or anything like that. And it has it comes with a gauge, the AR630 for that matter, that I was mainly comparing this to. It does not have a gauge. Has an on and off switch over here. The pump outlets are here. Has an adjustment for the pressure. Your standard M22 connector. It's basically the features, the connections are all the same as all pressure washers, the Kranzlas or the AR models that are out there, or the Comets for that matter. That has the soap hose as well, which I never use because I use a foam cannon to wash my things. So I really don't have no use for that soap adapter, but it's there. Let's talk about the actual claim performance from the factory. So this is according to spec. This puts out the max 1900 psi, and it's rated at 2.2 gallons per minute. It's stamped right here, as you can see. So the operating temperature, operating pressure, they rated at 1380 psi, which it's about accurate. I never ran it that high. Reason being is, the best part about this machine is you could purchase this without the other junk. As you see, I have other equipment I'm using it with. I have the the MTM SGS28 swivel gun, which helps with the Masmatic wand and the Cobra Jet hose. So I did not really need all that other junk that usually comes with pressure washers. That you basically, if you want to use it long term, it's not really worth it. You want to get something that performs well. The machine itself, it's Italian made. It's actually, if you look at the back label over here, it's assembled in Modena, Italy, which is, I believe, home to Ferrari as well. So not that that has any value, adds any value to it, but that's a kind of cool factor. So it's fully Italian made. That's probably why it's not that popular in the US. I saw this machine a lot more advertised in Europe than I did here in the US. So and the best part about it is this machine works on a 15 amp circuit, which the other machine I was looking into was comparing it to the AR613. You need about 20 amp dedicated circuit in order for it to work and not blow your fuses. So I'm gonna hook it up real quick. So we're gonna be doing the standardized test. All right, for the test, I already have it hooked up to my Cobra Jet hose. This is the equipment I'm using it with. I have the SGS28 MTM gun with the live swivel, which helps a lot for anybody that used a pressure washer before. They know what I'm talking about. And this beautiful Masmatic bent wand. I'm gonna do two tests so you see what type of numbers this thing produces. I'm gonna use a 4.0 orifice nozzle, 40 degree, and a 4.5. So we're gonna be doing two tests. So how the test is gonna plan out is we're gonna be using the 5-gallon bucket of water, a timer, and a weight scale to show you what kind of GPM this actually puts out in real life situation, and what kind of reading you get on the gauge for that matter. Let's start with the 4.5 orifice nozzle and see what kind of number that puts out. After we're done with the nozzles, we're gonna do a foam cannon test as well, so see what kind of foam this thing produces, which is truly amazing if you ask me. So let's get right to the test. All right, so here we are. Let's get a baseline measurement of the bucket itself. That way we have some accurate readings. I have the scale right here. Let's see how much the bucket weighs. Bucket weighs 2.2 pounds. All right, so we got that out of the way. Now for the test, we're gonna be using, I'm gonna start with a 4.5 orifice nozzle. So let me get my timer out. So I got my stopwatch here. I got the machine ready to go. Let me just cycle a little bit. And let's start the test, all right? So here it is, 4.5 orifice nozzle. Let me just put that inside. Excuse my unprofessional lid. I couldn't find my lid, so just using this so no water escapes. And here we go. As you see, the machine is not that loud at all. There it is. It's a minute of operation, and let's see what the results are. All right, let's measure this bucket. Now, that's quite heavy, a lot of water. Let's see what it weighs. And that is 19 pounds. That's a lot of water, so let's do the math real quick. 19 pounds minus the weight of the bucket, which is 2.2, as I mentioned, as we weighed before. That gives us 16.8 pounds left. Now a gallon of water weighs 8.34 pounds, so divide that by 8.34. that gives us a GPM, gallons per minute, of 2.0.14, which is pretty darn good if you ask me, in real life results, because obviously you know that most of these companies advertise the GPM and it's nowhere near that. I know my car share was like at 1.1 or so, and in the meantime they advertised it like 1.6. so anyhow, so this is with a 4.5 orifice nozzle, and that gives us, according to the gauge, about 880 psi, which is all right. Now let me give, for comparison, let's try the 4.0 nozzle. So we have 4.0 nozzle, our wand in the bucket, got our professional bucket cover, and let's see, let's get our timer. Here it is. Sound-wise, it's not that loud either. I mean, it's nice, has a nice sound to it, so it's not very loud at all. I'm quite close to it, so it is. All right, so this produced us 18.6 pounds of water with the bucket. So let's see, 18.6 minus 2.2 leaves us with 16.4 divided by 8.34. That gives us 1.966 GPM, gallons per minute, which is pretty darn good as well. I mean, it's very minimal difference. The reason I wanted to show you the difference, 4.5 and a 4.0, is because 4.0 orifice nozzle gives you pretty similar results, but with 4.0 up with 11 on the gauge, according to gauge at least, you'll end up with 1100 psi pressure, output pressure. So it's about 200 psi more than with a 4.5 orifice nozzle. So actually, this is the nozzle I most frequently use, the 4.0 instead of the 4.5, but I wanted to show you so you see the difference, what the numbers are. Alright, so now is the test I guess everybody's most excited about is the foam cannon test. I'm gonna test it with now famous the PF22 foam cannon. I don't need to explain anything about this. Everybody who dealt with any type of pressure washer knows what this is. The foam cannon is amazing. One thing I'm gonna say is with this pressure washer, the orifice that I put inside here is the bigger one, which is I believe is a 1.25 millimeter. I think it gives you a better output than with the smaller orifice. It's probably because the pump output is so high that that you'll need more flow through the nozzle here. So let's see the foam cannon test. Look at that. That is just amazing. Look at that. I mean, the output this thing produces with the foam cannon is just ridiculous. I mean, look at that. The foam is nice and thick. It's got the M2 covered and foam in matter of two clicks. So the foam cannon is it passed the foam cannon test as well with flying colors, if you ask me. So yeah, and this is all on a 15 amp circuit, so you don't have to use 20 like you do with the comparable AR613. And according to the videos that are out there online, the AR613 gives you a little high output. I think that produces about 2.3 GPM per minute, but this is very comparable and it has nicer packaging overall. So as you saw in the test that I performed, the output of the machine is truly phenomenal in my opinion. The packaging that it comes with is nice and stout. Like I mentioned, it's about 50 pounds, but it's small enough. It has a nice gauge feature, which for example the AR630 does not have. It comes with the automatic start-stop, this is what I mean. So it's not constantly on when you're not using it. It's not annoying. The sound it doesn't produce an annoying sound that some of these pressure washers, cheap ones especially, produce. I think it's a package that's hard to beat, and like I mentioned, I have not seen anybody go into details about this machine, so I want to give some feedback to the community of what this machine is actually like. So I'm very happy with it, and like I mentioned, combined with the SGS-28 MTM gun, the Mosmatic bent wand, and the 50-foot Cobra jet hose, it truly is a package that you're not gonna find a better deal out there. This is like I mentioned, it's a commercial grade pressure washer. I mean, the Krenzels are all great in that, but I mean, I just don't see the cost, the value in what they're priced at. I mean, similar models that are priced double this machine do not give the performance that this machine provides. Like I mentioned, I came across this machine actually on eBay a couple months ago, and I was able to secure it. So the machine without any additional junk cost me $580, which, like I mentioned, Krenzels cost double that. The only other machine that was close to this, it was an AR as well, was a 630, which is about $100 more, but it's not as appealing as this, at least to me, is because the package is it's weird. It's bulky, and it doesn't have a gauge as well. So I think this better fit, at least for me and for what I'm using it for. and the performance that this gives out is phenomenal. 2 gallons per minute is amazing for electric pressure washer. As the anybody who has any experience with pressure washers knows that that you actually need gallons per minute to actually wash efficiently instead of the actual PSI. I mean, to wash cars or stuff around the house, I mean, the cars, the most efficient PSI is anywhere from 900 to 1100 PSI, and this machine does exactly that. Another feature that this machine you could add to is they make a wall hose reel for this that you can mount it to. It has a little mounting attachment that you can just clip in and set the machine securely so it does not slide off. And you can attach a hose reel to this, which I don't have yet, and also you could get a card for this as well, which is nice. That's some nice configurations this machine can be configured with. I'm still debating what I'm gonna do, but for now I just have it sitting on the floor. So yeah, I mean, for about $600, you can't really beat the performance that this provides. Now, one thing I did upgrade on this machine is the actual gauge. Let me find the original gauge. So the original gauge that this machine comes with is this black gauge. It doesn't have the actual pressure reading. It only reads, as you see here, low, medium, and high, which is all nice, but I'm a specific type of person and I wanted to see exactly what this puts out. So I ordered a same size gauge that has the actual numbers and actual readings, and all it is, you just unscrew this old one and screw the new one in, and it's not even that expensive. I think I pay like $14 for this. So anybody who's looking to get this machine and wants to upgrade their gauge to a specific gauge that has the actual reading, I'll link it down below. Now, where to get this machine? Like I mentioned, I got this machine on eBay, so I don't know if they're still available on eBay. I'll check. But last time I googled them, and there's some pressure washer distributors that actually distribute this. So maybe I'll link some distributors out there. But like I mentioned, there's not many people that sell this in the US, at least. In Europe, I came across quite a few sites. This thing is much more popular in Europe than here in US. So I linked them, and I got the gun and the one. I'll add some links to the description as well. I got these a while back, so it's not like I just got these with the machine. So I think the gun right now they go for about $75. The one I think was like 40, and the hose I think was 75 if I remember correctly. So yeah, but I'm very happy with it. It does everything I asked for it to do. The foam is amazing with this setup, with the BF22 MTM foam cannon. So again, it's I hope this was somewhat helpful, and if you're looking for a pressure washer that basically has the maximal output for the lowest cost, and it is a stout, nicely made piece. It's not made out of some cheap plastic. The plastic even feels nice on it. It's I would highly recommend this. Wish more people carry this in the US, because I mean, it's truly amazing machine out there. So if you have any questions, just comment down below, and hopefully this was helpful. If it was, consider giving a like and subscribing to my channel for more crazy projects that I'm going through, like the E46 M3 airbox or clutch replacements, the M2 projects. There's more on the way, so stay tuned, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.